Welcome back to the Daily Boost program, everybody. I'm Dr. Flo, not telling you what I heard, but what I know. What I know is that you're loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable, and you're always going to be loved and lovable for the rest of your life. Give me 1 second to share out this live with our inner network, and hopefully it will ripple out into the world. That's nice. Let's pick a couple of mindful message cards. Present. In this present moment, I have nothing to worry about. I take life step by step as I follow my desires and intuitions. Joyfully overcoming any bumps along the way. When I live like this, I don't have to worry about the future. Once again, the card is present. In this present moment, I have nothing to worry about. I take life step by step as I follow my desires and intuition, joyfully overcoming any bumps along the way. When I live like this, I don't have to worry about the future. When I live like this, I don't have to worry about the future. Let's pick another card, shall we? Oh, we do that one often. Let's see. Dance it out. I can move emotions through my body by dancing. Whenever I start to feel built up energy or crankiness, I play some music and move intuitively. I don't have to look a certain way. Simply move and feel as the stress or heaviness begins to ease out of my body. Dance it out. I can move emotions through my body by dancing. Whenever I start to feel built up energy or crankiness, I play some music and move intuitively. I don't have to look a certain way, simply move and feel as the stress or heaviness begins to ease out of my body. This reminds me of yesterday when I welcomed Tara Paolo Studio, one of our producers, partners, and vocal captain, amongst many other hats. Yesterday or day before yesterday, I didn't feel like doing the dishes, and so I ended up putting on some house music to kind of elevate my mood so I could dance it out and allow all of the stress and heaviness of doing the dishes to leave me. It was great. Yes, y'all check us out at lovedandlovable.bio.link. We would love to connect with you. Get on the waiting list and learn more about our programs there and the people that we are networked with. One more card. Playful. I go about life playfully and take things lightly. I can turn any hard day or heavy burden into a fun adventure. Why spend time upset when there's so much fun to be had? Why spend time upset when there's so much fun to be had? I go about life playfully and take things lightly. I can turn any hard day or heavy burden into a fun adventure. Why spend time upset when there's so much fun to be had? Let's move forward to the Melody Beatty. Some of you know that we've been working through the 52 weeks of conscious contact this year, and it's been so good to us. Stepping into the unknown is this week's theme, and I believe we're on day 4 of the week, so let's go. No, day 5 today, actually. When I go into the unknown, I immediately start making lists, one man said. We each respond differently to loss, letting go, and the unknown. We may try to fill up the vacuum immediately with something else. That usually doesn't work, at least not well. Try to be as present as you can for what you are going through. Oh, so good. One more time. When I go into the unknown, I immediately start making lists, one man said. We each respond differently to loss, letting go, and the unknown. We may try to fill up the vacuum immediately with something else. That usually doesn't work, at least not well. Try to be as present as you can for what you're going through. I love presence. I love that we can all just take a breath and shake hands with the present. It's a gift. The action for the week is to protect yourself. Protect yourself. You're vulnerable now. Do the simple, easy things that need to be done, one task at a time, even if nothing feels completely right. Remember the basics of self-care. Eat, sleep, shower, get plenty of rest, talk to trusted friends, Express what you're feeling at the moment the best that you can. We may vacillate between anger, rage, guilt, and sadness when we're letting go, and then we may go numb and not be able to think clearly. Don't worry about that. Your ability to think clearly will return. Don't do anything that hurts yourself or anyone else. That won't help. It'll make things worse. It'll make things worse. List may help us stay on track. Try not to see the big picture right now. It probably hasn't been shown to you just yet. So as you're stepping into the unknown, this week's guidance has been all about being gentle, making your list, figuring out the basics of your self-care, and allowing the present moment to be exactly as it is as you step into perhaps territory that you've never been in before. And we're all stepping into territory that we've not been in before. It is Throat Chakra Thursday here in our network, as guided by Poppy Water and the 7-Day Pillar Challenge. And on Throat Chakra Day, as I was telling Joyous Windrider this morning on our Love and Art series, the mantra of the day is I speak. So feel free to put in the chat if you're here live what you are speaking about. What is your talk about? Remember, thoughts become things, thoughts become words, words turn into actions, words turn into learned experiences. What are you speaking today? We start on Sundays in the root chakra with I am, moving up into the sacral chakra of I feel and our sensuality, going forward into our solar plexus chakra, which teaches us all about what we do. And then we end up on Wednesday in our heart chakra, I love. And then Thursday is all about I speak. I speak love. I speak hope. I speak positivity. I speak life. I speak life into every situation. And because I speak life, things live. The throat chakra of Vishuddha is all about communication, self-expression, and authenticity, which we love talking about here. So, this morning I discovered while I was interviewing or sharing or holding space with sharing art with Joyous Windrider Jimenez out of Texas, I discovered that I really enjoy listening to people, believe it or not. Most of you, that when you see me on these live streams and these simulcasts, you see me talking and singing and things, but as an introvert, I really enjoy listening to people and holding space. So let's do the first bank of questions around listening skills, and then we'll talk about the inner voice today. As it relates to your listening skills, and you can find all of the facts of the chakras on our social media and also in our newsletter. However, these questions help you anchor yourself in the chakra of the day, and I think the questions of life sometimes lead us in better directions than answers. How well do I listen to others? Do I often interrupt or feel the need to talk over them? What emotions do I feel when someone is sharing something important with me? What emotions do I feel when someone is sharing something important with me? And I want to add on to this question that if you go to our link in bio, lovedandlovable.bio.link, and you scroll to the bottom of the page, you're going to see a button that says Emotions Wheels. Tap on that. Look into that. Find a language around your emotions. What emotions do I feel when someone is sharing something important with me? Do you feel happy? Do you feel bad? Do you feel fearful? Do you feel surprised? Do you feel, disgusted when someone shares invulnerability with you? Are you joyful? Are you free? Are you indignant? Are you overwhelmed? Are you rushed? Getting in touch with our emotions is wonderful. What emotions do I feel when someone is sharing something important with me? What emotions do I feel when someone is sharing their passions with me? What emotions do I feel when someone is sharing their freedom with me? And don't forget that freedom is always meant to be shared. Do I feel heard and understood in my relationships? Do I feel heard and understood in my relationships? This reminds me that so many people are frustrated and agitated and angry in their lives and hold deep tensions in their body temple even because they don't feel heard and understood. And in order to be heard and understood in your relationships, just to give a bit of instruction here, they say that to be understood by people, you have to seek to understand them. And so if you are not feeling heard or understood in your relationships, it may be a key indication that it's time to listen more and to choose to understand the other more. Usually under the surface of everyone's internal chaos is a core mantra that we learned from Thich Nhat Hanh last week. I suffer, please help. I suffer, please help. And if you are listening and keyed into people's suffering and their help statements, you may be able to understand them better. Okay. As it relates to inner voice, what does my inner voice sound like? What does my inner voice sound like? Is it kind and supportive or critical and harsh? Is my inner voice, and does your inner voice sound like you? Does it sound like your mother? What does your inner voice sound like? And furthermore, is that voice kind and supportive, or is it critical and harsh? My inner voice is both. But I'm a director and leader, and so there are reasons for this, We're working on it though, because we want to be more on the kind and supportive side than the critical and harsh side. And even if you're going to give yourself a bit of critique, it probably would be best for it to be kind and supportive critique as opposed to something that causes you harm or sets you back in your self-esteem and your self-love. How do I respond to my inner voice when it is negative? How do I respond to my inner voice when it is negative, when it's not rooting for you, when it's tearing you down? And what practices help me tune into my inner guidance? For me, it's stillness, quiet, meditation, affirmations. Oh my gosh, I can't talk enough about how great it's been for the last 30, 60, and 90 days plus to anchor every day, first thing in the morning or as close to it, in positive affirmations and vibes. And if there's one thing that I would recommend as a practice to everyone, I'll say two things now. There are two things that I could offer to you today to help you tune into your inner guidance. It would be meditation or prayer, whichever you choose, stillness, contemplative stillness, and also affirmations. Affirmations are just fantastic. And for me, affirmations are a cleansing and purification process as it relates to my stinking thinking. Sometimes I pick up these thought forms from all over the place. Media, friends, family, emails, text messages, tweets. I'm a big Twitter frequenter, so I pick up all kinds of thought formations and vibrations. It's important that after viewing the negativity in society or the underbelly and undercurrent of our world, it's important that I also use prayer and meditation and affirmations to help cleanse my emotional and spiritual palate. I use those tools to cleanse my spiritual and emotional palate and to return me into our inner guidance that's always reminding me, you guessed it, that I'm loved and lovable. That I've always been loved and lovable, and I'm always going to be. And that is very good news today. Very, very good news. Thanks for being here. If you are interested in having your own freedom for yourself, once again, you cannot borrow mine, you cannot borrow Tara's, you cannot borrow any of our other poppies, you cannot borrow any of our ashe or freedom for yourself. I don't even think that I'm loaning mine out, because I need all of my freedom that I can stand for where I'm going in life. But if you'd like to tap into programs and a network and a community that really wants to see you succeed for yourself in your own success principle, I encourage you now to go to lovedandlovable.bio.link or click our link in bios. You can jump onto our program's waitlist immediately. There's a welcome video about what we're doing here. You can donate. You can click to see a calendar of our events. You can learn more about us. You can come to our live feeds. You can watch our newsletter. Newsletters used to be something that you would just receive that was kind of just black and white on the page back in the day. Our newsletter talks to you. Our newsletter talks back. So if you want to watch the newsletter, you can do that over through our link in bio. You can listen to our podcast on Spotify. And you can also learn more about our healing practitioners, Poppy Water, Tara, and myself. You can grab an appointment with me for those of you who want to be up in my face. And you can also live chat with our support desk. And as I was talking about earlier, there are emotions wheels. For those of you who may not be having as great of a day as it relates to your emotional sobriety, it may be important to share with those who seek to help you in life, and there's always someone who wants to help you. It may be important to let them know how you're feeling. Remember, no one in life is a mind reader. No one in life can predict the future. No one in life knows you better than yourself. So, you know, some people, like I did, I mean, I walked around for decades with a low level of dissatisfaction with life. I would tell you many, many times that I was sad or I was having a bad day. Well, was I having a bad day, or was I simply busy? Was I having a bad day, or was I feeling pressured and rushed? Was I sad, or was I vulnerable? And this is a big one. I'm going to land here today by talking very boldly about this. A lot of my sadness in life came from being part of vulnerable people groups, or people groups that are supposed to be made to feel vulnerable in the society. I sit at some intersection, I sit at some cultural and lifestyle and lived intersections that would lend me towards a vulnerable feeling. You know, will I be able to make my money as a melanated person online when the internet is anti-black? Will I be able to grow my business and my mission and my ministry? Because, you know, in a world that is, or tends to promote and elevate this propaganda and these thought viruses of anti-blackness and anti-wokeness, right? But am I feeling sad about my life, or am I feeling vulnerable? Have I been victimized by life in some way? You know, is there a reason why TikTok says that all of the posts to promote me and my energy are dangerous content on the platform, but any other thing is completely okay? I ran this social media check on TikTok, and all of the things that would help me to grow my business and mission and money is not sanctioned and not eligible for the For You pages, but all of the silliness can exist. Am I sad in my life? Or am I feeling vulnerable to the causes and conditions of what it means to be black on anti-black platforms like TikTok and Bigo and Instagram and Facebook? We know these programs are free so that we can't counter in any way that they are anti-black and also censored spaces. But it's important, just to be clear, that I don't walk around in life telling people that I'm sad, because I may not be hurt, I may not be depressed, I may not be guilty, I may not be in despair around that emotion. It could be that I'm feeling vulnerable or lonely in the pursuit of my passions and missions. And just using this simple wheel here to engage comfortable and uncomfortable emotions allows me to have a better emotional vocabulary. And until you work to develop a stronger emotional vocabulary, you will always feel trapped inside yourself. Because most of the loved and lovable people around you and the people who find you to be lovable are going to be asking you, what's going on? You know, after you cry it out, after you yell it out, after you mistreat them or they mistreat you, you know, most people will come back to the heart of the matter. Like, okay, I see you're in pain, beloved. I see you're suffering because you're treating life like it's the Jerry Springer show. So you must not be happy. What exactly are you feeling? And can you put a name on it? Because once you begin to name and have a strong emotional vocabulary, then people can actually help you meet your own need. They perhaps won't do it for you, but they can certainly help if you're saying, I'm vulnerable and I'm feeling afraid. Stay in your joy, stay in your power, stay loved and lovable, and I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks so much for being here, and it's a thrill to share the planet with you all just for today. I'm Dr. Flo, and I'm loved and lovable.